now that we've embarrassed you as much as we possibly could, Senator Chapin, would you like to say something, sir?
Thank you, Madam President. First, let me say that I think Senator Guglielmo was right up until the applause. I never got that, having a root canal, but thank you all so very much for your comments. Very humbling. Some of you suspected that this may not have been something I was really looking forward to. That would absolutely be right. I have to say that I would have preferred that it had occurred at 11 o'clock because I would have been able to get it out of the way. But very humbling, and I so appreciate all of your comments. 16 years has really flown by, and people have asked me, why is it you're not running again? And it's that point alone. 16 years has flown by. I remember the first time Senator Duff had a child, Senator Duff's wife had a child, and I stepped onto the elevator with him, and I didn't really know him that well, and I said, Bob, just don't blink, because before you know it, they'll be teenagers, they'll be going to college, and then they'll be gone. And what I didn't want to happen was another 16 years to pass me by in this building, which I know could happen very easily. When I look at those 16 years, I start to wonder whether or not there's a basis for some inferiority complex here. So I've been on the Environment Committee all 16 years. I've been ranking member for the last 14. And during those 16 years, I've had 4 different leaders. I've had 5 different House chairs in the Environment Committee, 5 different Senate chairs in the Environment Committee, and now in just 2 terms, I've had 4 different seatmates. So I'm not sure what that says, but I'm starting to get a complex over all of that. I tried to approach this job, as I have other things in life, with a good balance of work ethic and humor. I'm very appreciative that other people have noticed that I do put my nose to the grindstone and try to pour through as many bills as I can, try to help out other legislators when I can. But through all that, I didn't want this to be the be-all, end-all. I think any opportunity to interject humor is always a good thing. There have been several amendments over the last 16 years that my partner in crime down in the House has joined me in. Just this year, there was a Yogi Bear amendment. I have it if anybody would like to see it. Some of the staff, not from my caucus either, has been kind of a bad influence. And there's a Viking funeral amendment out there on the system. Not this year, I don't think, but my favorite was when we were debating a very serious issue a number of years ago about potentially dangerous animals, and it came as a shock to me to see then Attorney General in front of a TV camera advocating for the importance of this bill. So my partner in crime, Craig Miner, and I had to draft an amendment, and there was, I think it was actually agency legislation that required or allowed for a grandfathering in and I guess an amnesty period to turn over your potentially dangerous animals. So Representative Miner and I appreciated the Attorney General's thoughtfulness and recognizing the importance of that particular policy. So we thought it was fair that people have an opportunity to drop off their dangerous animals on Elm Street at the Attorney General's office. Well, it's always a good opportunity. There are sometimes good opportunities to interject some humor into a business here that all of us who live it understand it. Those of us who aren't in this building don't understand it. It was nice to see the Attorney General sense of humor reciprocated when he sent us each a letter that summer, thanking us for our good work and mentioning that some people equated attorneys in the Attorney General's office as sharks and snakes, so it was very fitting. But, there are times in this building it's very difficult to maintain a sense of humor, and it's certainly something that I think everybody should endeavor to do a better job of. I know we all get testy, we all get tired, but being lighthearted serves a good purpose. I would also like to take this opportunity to thank the staff, not just those in my own caucus, but those on the fifth floor that I've become friends with, and those that work with us from the agencies. Those are relationships that have been forged and I hope will continue to be maintained. I'd especially like to thank my aide, A.J. Belagamba, who keeps me on the straight and narrow. Unless he knows I'm working on amendments, then he leaves me alone. And several people referenced our families and what they go through and what they sacrifice to keep us here or to allow us to be here. And, I have two boys that were teenagers that are now grown men who have been very supportive and forgiving for those times when I couldn't be at something probably it's fair to say I wanted to be at, but had to be here. Several people have mentioned Senator Rohrabaugh, and those were very large shoes to fill, especially his ability to never miss votes. And it wasn't lost on me that the 12 years prior to my coming to the circle, the person sitting in this seat never missed a vote. And I'm pleased to say I kept that streak going for another 4 years. So and I can tell you the 2 days I missed it in the House, I just passed my 10-year anniversary of not missing a vote because it was in 2006 when I was sick for a couple of days. But my first piece of advice I'll give to the next state senator from the 30th district is get it over with early. Just get it out of the way, take the pressure off. When I look back over the last 16 years and beyond, because I did serve at the local level, if anybody still questions why I'm leaving the legislature, I think this point should drive it home. Between my wife and I, we've been on the ballot 20 times. And I think it's fair to say that campaigns are fun for a while, but at least for me, that's probably the biggest joy I have today is I'm looking forward to not campaigning this fall. I do have to mention that rumors of my departure from Connecticut have been greatly exaggerated. It is true that we own some property out on Cape Cod, and I do occasionally drive Route 6 into Rhode Island, so I will be taking you up on your offer, Senator Flexer. I don't know what the next chapter brings for me. I can tell you that tomorrow I'm going to hit the bricks and hopefully see if I can even come close to matching the next chapter with what the last chapter has brought to me. You are a group of tremendously fine people. I can't thank you enough for the generosity today, but for the experiences you've given me. And as I leave here today, it is with great certainty that I say, notwithstanding special sessions, I look forward to our paths crossing again. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Senator Chapin. Are there any other points?